beautiful fragrance family, and happy Monday. And welcome back to My2Scents. My name is Brian, and this is the channel all about helping boost your confidence through the art of fragrance and becoming a lasting scent memory. So I have a very special episode for you today. Because today we're going to be talking about a new indie niche fragrance house that loves telling stories through their fragrances. And the name of the house is Xarmony. Not Xarmony, Xarmony. Trill Knoll, who is the owner and the perfumer at Xarmony, is a super great guy. I purchased this discovery set about a couple weeks ago, and I gotta tell you what, these are some of the most interesting, highly unique, storytelling, history-making fragrances I've ever experienced. But before we get into these fragrances, I need to give a shout out to you, the fragrance family. Y'all have been amazing with all the love and support, so thank you so stinking much. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers. I never thought in my wildest dreams that this family tree would be growing as fast as it is. And it's all because of you. Thank you so much. If you're new to this channel and you like discovering all new fragrances, talking about brand new fragrances, talking about all things related to fragrance, then do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, throw me up one of those likes, and start dropping me some comments down below because I look forward to getting to know you. But with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into today's Yo Ho, Pirate's Life for Me. Whiffs and Sniffs. Now the reason that song popped into my head is because of these fragrances that we're about to talk about. They tell a story. These are not going to be mass appealing fragrances. So if you are thinking that this episode that you're going to learn about some new mass appealing fragrances, you're going to be very disappointed. So I'll see you in the next episode. But if you love the creativity that goes into perfume, if you are truly passionate about the artistic process, the history, the passion, the stories that can be told through fragrances, then you are in the right spot. You need to stick around because these tell a story. So Trill Knoll, the artist, the perfumer, the owner of Xarmony, is really into like medieval times, pirate times, history. He loves that kind of stuff. And he wanted to create very masculine fragrances. And I'm going to tell you what, these are the most masculine fragrances I've ever smelled. In all my years of sniffing fragrances, I've never smelled anything like these fragrances. So the name Xarmony, the reason it has an X is because in Mongolian, X's sound like H's. And that's where he got Xarmony from. So I'm going to go over, I have 5 fragrances in front of me. Instead of going over all of them, I'm going to go over my top 3. And I'm going to start with one that I think is probably the most mass appealing out of the bunch. And that fragrance is called Odin Sleep. Now, as we all know who Odin is, that's right, Thor's father. You can guess what this fragrance, what kind of story this fragrance is going to tell. I'm going to leave a picture of what the bottles actually look like right here, and also let you know that he is running a sale right now. All of his 100 ml bottles are $200, which sounds like a lot, because it is a lot, but he is starting his company up, he's starting his brand up, and he needs as much support as possible. And what he did with Odin Sleep is he created the best photorealistic peppermint fragrance I've ever smelled in my life. I'm going to go ahead and spray this on my hand because it's 5:30 in the morning, and I need a little pick-me-up. I need something to revitalize myself, to wake me up, Buttercup. Why do you lift me up? Buttercup, baby, just let me down. All right. Anyways, that's all I got. Okay. Okay. So this, if you want mint, if you're looking for a green mint fragrance, Odin Sleep is perfect for that. But what I get from this, the peppermint, and I need you to hear this, the peppermint in this, it smells just like a candy cane. It's sweet, it's pepperminty. It's like you're going up to a peppermint plant and picking the leaves and sticking them straight to your nose. You're getting all the greenness from that peppermint plant. It is so cooling that it makes my eyes literally water, but in a good way. It's like using a nasal spray. I mean, honestly, it is crazy. It is very uplifting. It's very revitalizing. It is very soothing, but smells So real. And then he has this, I think it's a fresh cut grass accord in it. So just imagine taking a piece of grass and breaking it. And you have that slightly watery juice that's coming out of the grass and you smell it. That's exactly what's in here. And that's pretty much really what this fragrance is. There's not a whole lot to it. That mint sticks around for freaking ever. That's gonna be in my hand forever. But this is a photorealistic peppermint. Very long lasting, very cooling, very soothing, would be perfect in the heat. And it just lifts my spirits. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, damn, dude, it's so crazy. It is crazy. It's so cooling. So cooling. So first one is Odin Sleep. Very unisex. Now I'm gonna go over one of his very masculine, the most masculine fragrance I've ever smelled. Ever. Iron Bend. I'm gonna spray this on my other hand. So Iron Bend comes from, I believe, the movie The Last Airbender. I have not seen that movie in quite some time, but it has something to do with one of the main characters' grandmothers or something like that, and she goes from becoming the airbender to the ironbender. Anyways, but Iron Bend. This smells like medieval times. All right, this is a challenging fragrance. There is no mass appeal to this until it starts drying down, and even then, it's not mass appealing, but it's extremely masculine. It's totally wearable. It's gonna take some confidence, but this is a fragrance that will boost your confidence. If you like working with your hands, if you're an outdoorsy kind of guy, this might be right up your alley, because the best way for me to describe it to you, it smells like blood, sweat, and tears. Not like Secretions Magnifique, more like something that Jon Snow would wear. All right, so there is this camphorous, very camphorous note to it. And it also has like this oxidized metal note. It reminds me of chainmail, like cold chainmail that has seen its day, that has been through some wars. It's got a little bit of rust on it, because I get a little bit of like a rusty feel to it. But I also get like a kind of the smell of blood. But not in a bad way, okay? It's just that oxidized metal. But there's so much greenery to it. It smells like the forest around you. Very camphorous, very. And as it starts drying down, you're going to start getting this nice smokiness, like a nice embery campfire. And it reminds me of back in medieval times when they would sit around the campfire at the end of their battle, sitting there drinking their mead and their grog and just having a good old time, trying to forget about the men that they just had a battle with. There's this really nice smokiness coming through it. Very green though. There's a lot of greenery sitting in the background. Like I said, it still reminds me that there's a forest around me. And I'm talking about like the Black Forest. This is all things masculine. And you know I'm all about, unisex, thinking every fragrance is unisex. I could see women finding this quite challenging to wear for themselves. But on a man, this is everything masculine. This takes me to a time that I've never been, because I'm not 500, 600, 700 years old. This takes me back. It makes me feel like winter is coming, because this is Jon Snow written all over it. But there is something clean in it as well. Something like a nice metallic cleanliness, like a sword that has just been sharpened, ready for battle. Man, it is such a story. There's such a story behind this, and it stays on your skin for hours. I would say 14, 16 hours. It's long lasting. It's loud. A little goes a long way. From right here, I can smell this, and I can definitely smell Odin Sleep just popping off my hands. And the combination of the two is actually pretty stinking good. Throw a little peppermint on there. As it fully dries down, you start getting a lot of these really nice wood accords. I think there's some cedar in there, and it's like a charred, burnt cedar. It's really good. It's very interesting. It's very challenging. More for those who enjoy challenging fragrances, who appreciate the creative process and how fragrances can tell a story, because you wear these works of art to tell your story. That's what I love about these. Now let's talk about Ching Shi. Ching Shi is for the ladies. And I gotta tell you what, this doesn't necessarily remind me of anything, because none of his fragrances actually remind me of anything. But this one right here does something like Chanel fragrances do, or at least you used to do. On the ladies' side, not really the men's side, on the ladies' side. But let's spray this right here. Ching Shi starts out with like a nice grassiness. It has almost like a floral quality to it, though there's no actual florals in the note breakdown, which is interesting because I definitely get some sort of like a white florality to it. So there might be, but after talking to him, he said he didn't put any in the composition. You get like a nice soft vanilla sweetness. There's a nice earthiness to it, like a damp earthiness, and I believe that's coming from like maybe some tobacco, or actually like an earth accord, because I know that he actually creates like a dry earth accord. But you get a little bit of that peppermintiness that you're getting from Odin Sleep, and it's really nice. There's almost something musty and like musky about it. Something that Chanel used to do back in the day with Chanel No. 5 and some of the lady fragrances. They would add something to it to where you didn't really know what you were smelling, but it kept bringing you back. And that's exactly what Ching Shi does. I'm like, okay, that's good. Man, is that good? No, that's good. Wait, is that good? And I just do that over and over again. It's a little mesmerizing. I'm like, oh man, I mean, is it good? And it is good. It's a very complex fragrance that's not complex, if that makes any sense. I get a little bit of an earthy coumarin vibe coming from the tonka bean that's in it. And like I said, there's this like florality to it that isn't present in the note breakdown that I'm getting. And that might be coming from the grass accord that you saw in the note breakdown, but it's really good. This is definitely a unisex fragrance because I would enjoy wearing it. I have enjoyed wearing it, but I can definitely see it, the women loving it. Like it leans quite feminine. Iron Bend, it's manly, like man's man fragrance. Ching Shi is very creamy, and I don't know exactly where he's getting that creaminess. Maybe a little bit of like a creamy vetiver, maybe a creamy, soft, clean patchouli in it. There's also, I believe, to be a little bit of like woodiness to it as well. But that all could be coming from the tobacco that he's using. But that's a beautiful fragrance. What Trill is doing is he's trying to create his stories, his love for history, and put them into fragrances. I'm going to tell you what, he's nailed it. Iron Bend smells just like what I would think medieval times would be like. If you're a man's kind of man, like you like working with your hands, you're outside working with wood, you're working on cars, whatever you're doing, not working in an office, this is right up your alley. Odin Sleep, it's just uplifting, it's revitalizing. It would wake the dead. It would wake up a god like Odin from his slumber. It's cooling. It's a breath of fresh air. Odin Sleep, I'm definitely going to be rocking. That's going to be my scent of the day. I think it's fantastic. For you ladies out there, Ching Shi, get it while the getting's good, because I can see women loving that fragrance. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, or if you do not, go ahead and follow me on Instagram now, because this evening at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm going to be doing an interview with Trill, the owner and perfumer of Xarmony. And I would love to have all of you there, asking him questions, getting to know him, hearing his story, because he's got a lot of cool things to say. Guys, that is it for me. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Let me know in the comments down below if you've tried anything from Xarmony, if you're interested in trying anything from Xarmony, because I will leave a link in the description where you guys can find his fragrances. But I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. If you enjoyed today's episode, then do me a favor. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And always remember, you are stinking beautiful. And until next time, happy scent trails.